Hello everyone, my name is David and welcome to my tutorial on the basics of BandLab. So today we're going to be learning about how to use this music production program called BandLab. So first, if you want to access the program, you're going to either go to www.bandlab.com at the top here, or you can download the app on the Google Play or App Store. So now that you've got the program right in front of you, now let's make an account. So first you would click sign up, but I already have an account, so I would log in. Okay, so now that we've logged in, you'll notice a few things. It's a bit overwhelming, but just stay with me right here. So first, BandLab not only makes music, but it also publishes them. So it's a bit like SoundCloud, but also GarageBand combined into one single platform. So don't worry about that. I won't go too much into that specific part. But now you've created your account. Now let's create some music. So first you click the red button, the big red button called create right here. So you click on that. Okay, so now we've loaded up our project, and you'll immediately find a few things. So you probably don't have a guitar or a drum machine or a bass, and your voice probably doesn't sound that good. So we're not going to use any of these, but for this tutorial we're just going to teach you MIDI instruments. So they're basically virtual instruments that you can interact with on BandLab. So let's say, so we're going to go with an easy example, grand piano. You want to make some grand piano noises, right, on your music project. So right now, as you can see, the first thing you see is keyboards with a bunch of keys on, with a bunch of notes, sorry, on them. Okay, so they have letters on it. That's not the notes, that's actually the keybind, so you know what button to click on your keyboard. So if I click Z, yeah, I get the lowest note. If I click P, I get the highest note. It's pretty simple. And let's say you don't want that, you just want to see the notes. You click on pitch, and then you'll see right here all of the different notes. C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, you get the idea. And there's also, flat and sharp notes also. And you can also, let's say you want a bit of a higher note or a bit of a lower note, then you would click on the plus button in the octave. So you have more options now. You can see it's a bit higher than the last keyboard. And you can go even lower. It's even deeper now. And that's about notes, which I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna get into music theory for this video. But let's say you don't want a piano, right? A piano is too basic. You want a bit more of a, you want a saxophone, right? Yeah, you can also preview how the instrument sounds by clicking on it. So you may wonder, how the hell does BandLab simulate a saxophone? Okay, well, you first you select the instrument, and then you'll see it's a keyboard again. And if you click on the one of the notes, oh, it makes a noise. Yeah, so that's basically how MIDI instruments work in BandLab. And everything else still applies. Some instruments will not have as much octaves, as many octaves as some of the other instruments, but this is plenty to work with. Most instruments will have all you need, okay? But there's one other type of virtual instruments that I need to teach you, which are drum pads or drum kits. Drum pads or drum kits. So I'll just choose hard rock, because I'm personally a rock guy. So as you can see, you have all the components of a drum, for say like the snare or cymbals, right there, and also the keybinds. So yeah, and that's really useful if you don't want to use your mouse all the time to click the instruments. But drum kit is a bit more on the advanced side. It's a bit more overwhelming, for example, than a drum pad. So let's go with a drum pad for this video so you can follow along. EDM, there we go. So you see, it's a bit more of a user-friendly layout when it's a drum pad. Yeah. And again, the key binds. Okay, it's a bit of a goofy noise, but let's say, you know what, you've chosen your desired drum pad and you're ready to make some music. So how do you do that? So first you have to check a few things. Number one is your BPM, and also if you want to have a metronome on. So the metronome is on, but you don't hear anything because we haven't played yet. As you can see, it's still at 0 seconds. And you can also rename the project, you know, turn down the volume and pause, loop, all that stuff. And some of the other things you'll see, we don't need to worry about them too much. Okay, and as you can see, 1 room, 2 room, 3. I'm not sure about the terminology, but as you understand. So now let's say let's start recording. Let's get to the, you know, the stuff. I don't know. Okay, click R. That's a keybind for record. It's not working. Give me a minute. Okay, so have a metronome, as you can see, the metronome noises. So now let's okay, now I'm done. You can pause it as well, but I don't want to work anymore on this masterpiece. I don't think it needs to work anymore. Okay, so, and what I've just done is adjusted the duration of the drums a bit, because there's a bit of empty space and I just want to get straight to the juice. But sometimes there's a lot of components to your project, and you just want to hear a specific part looped over again. So you can just see this. You see this red bar, you drag it on top of the part you want to loop it over. So let's see, it's like, I just want to hear the second room only. So yeah, so you only hear the second room. So, and if you want to disable, just click on it and boom, and on your mobile devices, just touch it. So it should be good. So now you've got your drums or your beats. Absolutely horrid. So now let's add another track, virtual instruments again. So now this time let's go with a I think I'm ready. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Click R. Oh, nope, that's not it. Nope. Okay. So, I've completed my, I guess this is the melody of the song. So now let's, you know, re-listen to it. Hot garbage. Let's go. But let's say you're like, it doesn't sound quite right, but I don't want to play it all over again. Yeah, no worries, my friend. All you have to do is double click on it, and boom, you have the MIDI editor, and you have all the notes visually represented to you, and you can adjust it wherever you want. So you can drag it around, or you can click on it. Like, for example, I don't want any of this, so I'm just gonna select all of this and boop, delete. And now it is still very bad, but here's the thing about music. It's a skill. That means you're going to need to learn it if you want to make some good music. And at first, you will suck. You'll make some trash music, okay? Okay, yeah, this is shit. Let's say you finish your masterpiece and you want to show it to the world. So, first, always save. And now you publish. So you click on the publish button. This we don't really have to worry. Description, Yeah. So now you've published it. It will load a bit, and boom, you see revision published right in the bottom left corner. You click on that, and now in SoundCloud form, you get to hear your music. And mine is I will not hear again. Okay, and this is the last time I'm hearing this this project. Okay, so you can either go back to the studio and continue editing it. Let's say like you've been working on it for hours and you're like, you know what, I need a break, so you close it and then you want to come back to it later. Just click on the project and click on studio. Don't forget to name your project so you don't get confused. And then let's say you want to share it with other people, right? So you can either do two things. Share, so this is like directly sharing. This is more for like if you want to show to a friend. But let's say you want to send it as a file, like maybe for as a project, a school project, or you just want to send to someone as a file. So you click on download, and you will get shown some options. So yes, I would go with MP3. So let's download an MP3 for the 246 kilobytes. That's nothing. Okay, there we go. So now you have your project downloaded, and then you can insert it into an email or messaging app or whatever people use, and you just send it, and that's it. That is it. But let's go back to the studio for a moment. There's a few other things I have to show. So on the left, you might see a few things next to the instrument. You can see M, which means mute. You will mute that instrument, and you will hear every other instrument that isn't muted. And then there's solo. Solo makes it so that you only hear that instrument. You like that is the only instrument that is playing, because maybe you have a bunch of different instruments and you're too lazy to click mute on a bunch of them. So just click solo. Just click the S button, okay? And then there's LR. I think this is pretty easy to understand. It's left or right. If you're wearing headphones, it matters because some of the instruments will be more towards your left ear and some other instruments towards your right ear. And there is some other stuff like automation and stretch mode, but we do not need to worry about that. But sometimes you're like, wait a minute, you know what, this instrument is missing something. Reverb. But how do you add reverb to an instrument, or maybe a different kind of effect? So you click on FX, which stands for FX, and you have you have reverb right here. But let's say like you add this reverb, you're like you hate it. You can click on added effect, and you can find a different type of reverb. Aha. Let's go with Space Maker. Okay, now, and you can adjust it as you want, and you can also choose what type. I guess it depends on the effect. And right there, it's even worse now. So now you click save again, and then now you know how to publish, so you can do that yourself. And that is it for the tutorial. That is all you need to know about BandLab. Again, if you're not good, like if this is your first song, it's probably not gonna be good, not even decent. Okay, it's probably gonna be shit. But don't worry, you'll get better if you try. Okay, if you try. Okay, if you're like me, then it will never get better. Okay, and that is it. I thank you for watching my tutorial. I don't know what to say to end this recording.